All right, let us pod. Hello to everyone in the GQHQPQ recording studio. Please do not swear. I hope you're all doing well on this fine Friday afternoon. I know I am. Please say your designated catchphrase, player 1, Goose.
Howdy, howdy.
And please say your designated catchphrase, player 2, Andy.
What's kicking, chicken?
Love it. Thank you, players. Your opening remarks have now been logged, and we can continue with the podcast. Let's thank the podcast gods and get ready to get quizzical.
Yay! Welcome to the podcast.
That was fun.
Hey,
that was
I
nice.
thought it
I
was
didn't know
nice.
what to expect there.
It went from sort of dystopian at the end to sort of Big Brother at the start, but that's kind of really important.
Yeah, I get kind of like game showy vibes.
Did you get that in Big Brother when did you hear Big Brother in Australia?
Yeah.
And like there was Davina McCall who used to do Big Brother here, and like the first thing that she would do is when she was speaking live into the house, like they would go live to the house and she goes, "Hello to the Big Brother house. Please do not swear."
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
An immediate thing of like you can't swear.
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Primetime television. Kids are awake.
Yeah. And it was that always came back to me when it's like, please do not swear. So before we go further, we do have Andy McGill with us, who's a new face to you probably if you're not in the accounting world in Dundee or Scotland.
No offense, but would be very niche.
It is very niche.
Watching this stream, listening to the podcast, and knowing your face. That's, yeah.
We've spoken about Ashton McGill plenty. So Andy McGill is from Ashton McGill, and they are our accountants and the accountants to the stars. Andy has been a key part in keeping Goose's quizzes going over the lockdown, and we're excited to have him today for the podcast and to have a little chat about Ashton McGill and being accountants and what that's been over the last little while. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
It's a natural crossover. You do numbers, we do numbers.
I love Excel. They
Don't
sometimes
like Excel.
Sometimes
They tolerate
sometimes I give them advice on Excel.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That's the whole
In fact,
reason.
do you want
Now this makes sense.
Here's
That's the
my-
whole reason.
Here's my expose on Ashton McGill recently. They said, "Oh, they copied my hours sheet that I use."
Yeah, we did. We did.
Hey, if it's a good thing, Sharon's
should
Karen.
be getting some kind of credit for this.
I took you out for lunch.
You can leave now. Like that's all I wanted to get out there live on air.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
And I admitted it on air as well.
That's
so
true, actually.
I have no
yeah.
defence now.
That's fair. That's how the court system works. So now we've got it down. It's in the ledger. No, welcome. You've been in Edinburgh for a few days, but you're usually based
In Dundee, lovely place to live. Some areas aren't great, I suppose.
The law?
But that's like that with everywhere. The law's nice.
Have you been
actually.
up the law?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
It's quite a steep walk up.
Oh, I've not
A lot of
walked up
people
there.
drive up.
It's quite conical, isn't it? It's pretty like.
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Like a cone.
Yeah.
There's no messing about. It's just like boom, you're there. It's not like Arthur Seat where
it
there's like a 45-minute walk to get to the top. It's like a
And whichever-
5-minute walk and you're there.
The worst thing is an Arthur's Seat. Some people go to the top of that and there's like a really hard route, and there's routes that are really easy to get up there, and it's like, well, not easy,
Easy is a
but
stretch.
like
Easier.
There's some routes which are intensely hard,
Yeah.
and then you see people at the top like sweating buckets. You're like, wow, what did you do there?
Mm-hmm.
And then someone else has just wandered up a like nice casual route.
Yeah, some people like in their full hiking gear, and then there's like, yeah.
Whereas the law sounds like all sides are the same, which is just a conical.
This is like a big hill, right? Like that's what we mean by the law.
Yeah, it's a law in Scottish language is
Geographical feature.
because there's Berwick law as well. And
Yes.
then other laws are, don't murder and things like that.
Just the good rules.
So you're Dundee based, and as is your accountancy firm. Do you call it a firm?
We call it a business.
Oh,
I think
okay.
firm's quite traditional, I think. And, we're not a firm. I don't really understand what that means.
Have you had conversations about that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Because I would call an accountancy firm usually.
We had a conversation, I think it was probably wanting to differentiate ourselves from traditional accountants in a way, where we didn't want to be a traditional accounting firm. Like, we're a business, you're a business, like, we're both business owners.
Or we're just a bunch of legends who do things together. Like, we
Yeah.
don't call ourselves a business.
Yeah, no, I don't get paid for this.
So yeah, but you want it to be different. Do you ever think about that phrase from, you've seen Mean Girls, right?
Yeah, loosely.
You know the mum in Mean Girls who's like, I'm not a regular mum, I'm a cool mum. And gives all the girls like mojitos or something.
Yeah.
She's like makes them margaritas or something like that. That's how I assume Ashton McGill is with everyone. It's like, we're not regular accountants, we're
Yeah.
cool accountants.
You get flat white and a little bit of
Yeah, a little
Do you have a
bit.
TikTok
cake or
account?
something like that. We do not have a TikTok account
Yet.
I know accountants that do. This is really weird and off field, but if you go into like accountant, because I looked for content, but hashtag accountant on TikTok, there's no accounting stuff on there.
Oh well, it's open market, open field.
No, as
that's
in
not
like
what he means.
it's like
It's a code word.
it's a code word that another industry is using.
Oh,
So like all the accountants trying to post like accounting content's getting caught up in something that rhymes with only pans.
oh really?
Yeah.
I now really want to know what accountant would mean.
You can do that after the podcast. But
I don't have TikTok, but I find that
Instagram, it'll be the same. It's pretty much the same. So
that's really.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to think of something else to call accountancy.
Yeah, no. What can we call it?
Numbers and that.
numberologist.
Numberologist.
I was editing Kirsty's podcast when we'll talk about ologies, so that's why that's in my head.
Oh right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we are pleased to have you here today. We've obviously just been for lunch, and yeah, I've bagged you for the whole afternoon.
The whole-
we're
well-
his favourite clients.
Bagged. Haven't heard that
And-
since high school.
I'm staying with Goose tonight as well.
Yeah,
Nice, in your wet bed.
in Bernie's wet bed.
Lucky you. Lucky
Yeah.
you. Nice. How were the burgers? Do we have any criticisms?
No, I had ham and eggs today. Ham, egg, and chips. It was easily one of my favourite meals ever. And Andy had a venison burger.
Did have a venison burger. It had a nice char on it, but it was a bit dry.
But it was a good size.
It was.
It wasn't too tall.
Manageable.
I took a photo of a burger.
Not
the
a
other day.
stack.
I
Yeah.
sent it through to you, and I was upset by it.
Yeah.
How tall it was. Like, if it squishes down okay and nothing comes out the side, fine. I don't mind if that's like, if it comes tall but it squishes down, it's fine. But it's just when people put burgers that are just far too big, it's just so upsetting.
Okay, it's not Burger Watch.
It's not
I was gonna say
burger
you're like
Watch.
a smash burger kind of guy, like
Wait.
thin and crispy.
I don't like thin and crispy. I just don't like. My hatred is when people say it's a big burger and they just put like a
Fork and
stack of food together.
Yeah.
It's like what you've just done there is put different items in a stack. Like, that's not a burger. If burgers should, personally, I think burgers should have eggs in them.
Really?
I think an egg in a burger is
Yeah,
like one of
that's
the best
very
things ever.
Australian.
Yeah, I mean, it upsets me that it's not bigger here because it's so good. Egg in a burger is like one of the best things ever.
Yep. Agreed.
We have got podcast games still to play, so if you're watching on live, this is being recorded live in front of a studio audience from Twitch. So, sorry, just to slide that one in there. On Twitch, so if you're in the studio audience, hello. If you're listening back to this on the podcast, welcome to the podcast and the recording. You can always watch this live. There's always an opportunity. We're on Twitch every Friday recording the podcast, and so you can watch this being recorded live. We're on camera right now, but for you podcasters, we're just in voice. It's quite hard sometimes because you can do gestures and people on Twitch can see what's going on, but that becomes very hard to translate to podcast.
Yes. There's probably more bonus things that go out visually than just the podcasters will get
Yeah.
from versus, yeah.
And
you
the
know what I mean.
podcasters get an edited version, so it gets edited down, some
Yes.
things get cut out.
You don't get to see us take drink breaks.
Yes.
Fix Goose's hair.
I actually looked there. Nonsense.
You look great. You look great.
I'm not enjoying all this like heavy, intense photography of my face on Instagram. It's not exactly the most flattering photo either.
Are you having a good time?
I definitely am with all of my face.
That's all right. Everyone's got one.
Yeah, but I've got a lot of it. Like,
And just more to enjoy.
oh, thanks very much. I'll tell Alice that next time.
Good. Good.
But yeah, sorry, we've gone off topic. This is our podcast. Welcome along.
Yeah.
We're here to talk opinions and things and stuff.
Whether we have a plan, but whether we stick to that plan is
We've got structured 5 questions to go through,
we do percentage game.
which you can still be involved with if you are on the live Twitch. You can still do it right now. If you're not,
You would have done it in advance if you're listening to
You
the
would have done
podcast.
it in advance. You can see how you get on, but I'll have a double check and see how we are looking. I think we've got quite a few people taking part today, actually. Quite a lot.
Good.
So-
Love a bit of competition.
Who doesn't? Yeah, we've got quite a lot in today, so it is all to play for. Oh, wait a second. I need to take one of them out because it's not right.
Oh, banned.
No, not banned. Just not for this week's because we forgot to switch off the form. So let me just edit that because that'll be a problem if we don't do that.
That's fine.
Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
I'm good.
I don't really want to talk anymore.
Well, we can go through the percentage game intro, and then we can just get into the game.
Yes.
All right, we'll do that. So here's going to be a little video and audio explanation of what the podcast game is. Oh, let me see if the hotkey works.
The percentage game runs as follows. There are 5 quiz questions that have been asked to thousands of teams that have taken part in our online and real-life pub quizzes. Those competing in the percentage game must guess the percentage of teams that got the answer correct. Whoever gets the closest to the actual percentage gets the most points, and the further away you are, the fewer points you get. The audience answer is taken as an average and is made up of anyone who's filled out the form prior to the game. The winner after 5 questions is the one with the most points. If you want to contribute to the audience average, keep an eye on the social medias as we will release the entry form with the questions a day before the next podcast recording.
Excellent.
The long gap at the end there.
I should probably edit that.
Please do. Because it looks like I've just forgotten what I'm saying. Thanks very much. Though.
Seamless transition.
Seamless, everyone would say. So do you understand the game?
Yeah,
We've only explained it to you about 10 times before this as well.
I know.
It's not like we have to explain it to an accountant.
Yeah.
I realised that we used to play a much more complicated version of this game, and now we've dumbed it down a lot over this time. And the only complicated thing now is the audience average stuff.
I like it's definitely evolved into something better for me, at least. Not better for me, but for me,
I would
I
agree.
like it much better.
I like the audience average stuff because it definitely does form a better percentage.
Yes.
Usually,
Yeah.
forms a pretty strong percentage. So if you want to beat the audience, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like the week that I thought I was going to do it, I probably was firing as well as I could. Like I don't think I was ever going to do better than that.
Yeah.
And I still ended up drawing with them. And it's like absolutely gutted at the end. I genuinely walked away from that podcast a bit like, really should have won that. Like that should have been a win.
They're good competition.
They are.
I like competing against. Yeah.
So the audience average is what we do is everyone submitted their scores and we take the average of all the percentages they've said, and then that forms the audience average. So it's a nice way of competing as the audience as a whole. But they put their emails in, so they get sent their average. They get sent their percentages that they've written in, so they can all see it. So as we go through, you might see the Twitch chat going on, and people write their actual percentages, what they've written in, and so we can see if anyone got it really close as well. Individually, and at the end of the podcast, once we're done recording, we'll be on Twitch still afterwards, and we'll do a little dissection of how well everyone did individually, and you'll see how you did individually as well against
Exciting.
everyone else.
Exciting.
Yeah, so it's tight. It's a pretty I'd say it's a pretty fun game. It's just hard to explain.
It doesn't explain well as a fun game.
No, but I think once you get into it, it is quite
Oh,
fun.
for sure. Yeah.
Because I
definitely.
like a good stat over time.
Yeah.
It's like a good sort of, what's the word? But I've got a few friends into it now who are like pretty tight on it, and they have started, I think, to be a little bit like, not, like, I think they're starting to see the sort of pride in being higher up
Yeah.
on the scores.
A bit of competition.
Yeah, especially because one of them came in and just smashed it one week and beat the other guy who'd done it for 2 weeks, which I found quite funny.
Nice.
So
Nice.
So all to play for. You have to be in the top half of the scores as well to get proper points. And if you're in the bottom half of the scores, you just get 1 point. So it is all to play for at the end. But we're going to get started. So let's get into it. Okay, we're on to question 1. Question 1. In golf, what does a device known as a stimp meter measure? So in golf, what does a device known as a stimp meter measure? So you say answer percentage on your board and make sure you write a nice line. So this is how many teams you think got it correct? The answer to this question. There's concerned looks, which I enjoy. So yeah, The percentage and the answer of... Oh, is that a bad pen? This one's better. Here you go.
Bad pen alert.
Do you have an answer as well? Do you know the answer?
Of course I know the answer.
Oh, I'm just double checking.
Man. Oh, I don't know how to explain it though.
Oh, I mean...
Stimp meter.
Stimp meter.
Stimp meter.
There's a pretty simple way to explain it, I'd say, if you knew the answer. Wow, you're really going big with that percentage. And I don't mean like high, I mean like large
Size
number.
wise.
Well, everyone has to see it, Goose.
This is true.
Do I write the answer on this as well?
Yeah. We'll go through both in a second.
Stimp meter.
Yeah.
That's got me stimped.
Podcast of puns. No. That's what we're going for. We're not looking for an essay.
I don't know how to write it in fewer words.
I think I know how to say it. We'll see the answer in a second. So,
Do
Scott,
you know what it is?
Yeah, I would know, but I know it because of this
Question.
I think actually no. I think I know it from the Masters. They do it always in the Masters.
Yeah, they do.
And it's content that they love to show when actually other people are in golf. And I don't like that. Are you changing your answer?
I'm thinking about it more.
Oh wow!
Is that allowed?
Yeah, you're very welcome. But
I'm
we
ready.
want to get through this bit. You know, there's 5 of these to go. So not that I'm saying we have to be faster than this. Are you wishing you hadn't written it so big now?
Yes.
Taking up the whole board. Right. Okay. Let's reveal our boards. Does everyone have an answer and a percentage?
Yeah.
Right. Please just show me your boards. Right. So, Andy, you said
12%.
And what did you say the answer is?
The answer is it measures the speed of the greens.
I really enjoy that. What do you think the answer is? The answer is this. And Scott?
I wrote lay of the land, like when they put that grid thing on it and you see like how up and downy it sort of goes. I tried to draw a picture, but it doesn't work. It just looks like a bad bridge.
Oh,
and
do you mean like contour lines?
Yes.
Okay.
And I put 39%.
39%. Okay. So we've got the answer is the speed of a putting green. The speed of a putting green. So yeah, you said it already. I feel like I didn't even have to put the answer up there because I think we knew that Andy would know that. Andy's a big golfer.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we've it's fair enough. So the percentage we've got Scott at 39%, Andy at 12%. The actual percentage for that question is 40% of people knew that. So there you go. Do you not have the actual on screen?
Oh, maybe I accidentally...
Yeah, the actual is 40%, which I think someone in our chat got exactly right. So very well played. 40% bang on the nose. So 40%, which means Scott's closest at the moment.
I am the furthest away by...
Hey, look, it's fine. I like you also had 20% written down before you had 12% and just sort of thought that people wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It's fair. But what we also get to see now is how the audience averaged it. And so they could either snake potentially in between Scott's answer, which is 30. He's only 1% away at Scott at the moment. So this could be snaked here. Let's see what the audience average is. The audience average came out at 44.5. So 44.5 for the audience average. There you go. We'll take a wee break just for a second, just to let Scott get this stuff sorted out. And we will...
Sorry. I don't have the...
You don't have it?
Yeah, the actual's not coming up for me. It's like nowhere on the screen.
Actual.
Did you change...
Oh, I might have changed the colour of it.
You changed the colour of
I know what happened. I changed the colour of it. Apologies. That's my fault. It's bad of me. Because that's what it should be like. Oh, you've actually got it already. Apologies, it was my bad.
That's fine. It's fine.
It was my bad. Right, 4%. There we go. So audience got 44.5, which was in second place. Andy, you're in third, unfortunately, which gives the points as 3 points to Scott, 1 point to Andy, 2 points to the audience. Well played, everyone. Audience. I mean, that was pretty close in the audience, but Scott did very well there.
Yeah, very well.
1% away is very good. So
Feeling good. Feeling good.
Good job.
Get my eye in. Get my eye in. So, accounting, that's your game. How'd you get into that?
So I'm not an accountant myself.
Oh,
I think just put that out at first. I'm not boring.
oh.
Is anyone born an accountant?
And yeah, so basically, I studied advertising and PR at college. That's what I did when I was younger, and then went on to do a bit of website design, a little bit of service design, and I was actually doing a little bit of work with my dad, who is an accountant and been a finance director and run a couple of businesses and run an accounting business. And he'd left the accounting business and exited from that, and we started to do a little bit of work together. He was getting into service design and wanted to branch out from the accounting industry, and it was the first time we've worked together, and we worked together really well. And eventually it got to the point where I got really frustrated with our own accountant, because I'm not an accountant, and the whole doing your tax return and all, it was so alien to me when I was younger.
Yeah. Imagine if they taught that in school. Crazy.
Yeah, it was so alien to me, and it was just a really bad experience because it was last minute, and then you had a few £1,000s to pay, and where are you going to find the money for that? So I said to Alistair at the time, you've got a background in running accounting businesses, you know how it works.
Yeah.
Could we take our kind of service design principles and actually design an accounting service that actually helps people, and does it differently, and is a bit more modern in its thinking, and uses technology to make business owners' lives easier,
like me,
harnessing data, and
yes, data.
That's kind of how I got into it.
Cool. Nice.
It's interesting. I mean, I can testify from my side, and I've obviously spoken to you about it loads, Scott, the team, how helpful it's been, because we were with different accountants before we came to Ashton McGill, and I can hand on heart say that was one of the worst experiences in my life, was dealing with the old accountants, which actually I've heard that accountants who we won't name, but they know who they are, and hopefully they do hear this. They've ruined someone else's. I think I was telling you about this the other day. They've really messed up someone else's accounts recently, and put them in £22,000 of debt, and it's this is ridiculous. But that was the thing, is the phrase I always used to use, and Andy's used it recently with me as well, is that a lot of accountants like to be right but not helpful, and it's a really annoying thing.
I know lots of people like that, actually.
Yeah, it is a frustrating situation where it's fine, you can be, especially in these kind of professional services, it's it covers your back if you're right, but there's no kind of incentive to be helpful other than the fact that it's a service and people want to use you, so why would you not want to be helpful? In my mind, that seems like almost the number one thing. It's be really helpful first. If you can't be right in the whole situation, it's okay, we'll work towards that, but being helpful is so much more helpful for business owners and everything, to make sure.
Definitely. And I suppose a big part of my role at Ashton McGill is asking why, in a way. So as a non-accountant, I maybe spot things in the business and say well, why are we explaining it like that to that client? 'Cause I don't understand it. I don't understand what you're saying. So do they understand what you're saying?
Are you a gatekeeper for what goes out?
Almost, in a way, yeah.
Do you sit in the meetings and everyone's starts talking accountancy stuff?
And I'm just
and you're what the hell is this shit?
Yeah, a CT600, what the fuck is that?
I still don't know what a CT600 is. I got sent a load of them and I was just what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but people slip into watch the word. People slip into real jargon chat so quickly that it's really even things we use an accountancy software called Xero, and there's little things even how you run the reports, and it's I don't know what those reports mean sometimes, and when I see the output of them, this is really helpful, but I wouldn't know the name of it straight away because I'd be I don't know what that is. So I agree, it must be quite refreshing. Do you butt heads often with the sort of with Alistair, with obviously my accountant's Jared, who I deal with a lot. Yeah. Big shout out to Jared.
What a guy.
Love that guy. I feel I dump so much crap on him, all the time. Just land it at his door and I'm Jared, I'm in a real panic with this stuff that I was meant to have handed in a week ago. Can you please help me? And he's just yep, I've got time for an afternoon call this afternoon. I'm thanks so much, Jared.
Put aside the whole weekend, please.
Yeah, no, honestly, I feel every time I message him, it's just I'm in a real panic, Jared. I'm so sorry. Should have known this stuff a week ago. So, yeah, he has been very helpful. But Alicia as well, I have to give a big shout out to. both of them. I put them in group chats together. I've started on Slack grouping them together and sending my messages to them both. So I'm like, I feel like Michael Scott in the US office, where it's like 999 emergency. Everyone listen to my shout out. Anyway, sorry, apologies. I'm monopolizing all your accountants' time.
There's more people that need help than
why have
you.
we made such a big loss this month? Oh, Goose was going through something.
Goose had a slight hiccup.
Honestly, there's nothing worse when you don't know what you're meant to do with your accounting software. Something comes in, like a payment comes in, you don't know how to deal with it. I'm just like, I honestly have no idea what this is. Like, I don't know. Like recently, everyone's doing like, they do test card payments to an account to make sure you've got to verify. I don't know how to reconcile that.
It's like 1 pence.
Yeah. And it's like I don't know where this goes. Like, is it a subscription? I think it's a subscription.
Yeah.
Andy? A subscription, that would be.
I'm not an accountant, I don't know.
Also, that sounded a lot like I don't care.
It's just like, I am not going to answer that.
Not one of the 5 questions I'm not obliged to answer.
But it is stressful with money. Like, I hate, if anyone asks me anything about money with the business, I'm like, email Goose. I don't want to, no.
Yeah, you forward anything to do with like receipts or anything straight to me, and I love it.
Yeah.
Because Scott deals a lot with our purchasing stuff, but like emails straight to me, and I'm always like, "Thanks, Scott."
Yeah, that's fine. But if like one of the bars is like, "Oh, Sue," it's like, no, don't want to hear about it. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. I don't want to be held accountable for that.
Oh yeah, it's fair. I don't mind taking it on. It's my business, so it's I understand that. But then that's where someone like Ashton McGill come in and are deeply helpful, because it makes it easier for me to run the business that I love running, which is more the not money side of it, and more the kind of doing nonsense podcasts. Yay! And writing stupid intros. What did you do today? I wrote an intro for Scott to read out in the podcast.
Who the hell is Scott?
Okay, we've got a second question in the percentage game, which is as follows. Which has the larger population, the Vatican City or Dundee? So which has the larger population, the Vatican City or Dundee? That white clean whiteboard that you have? It's not very white clean, I'm sorry.
No, I know.
I know, it's pretty rubbish. I don't know why they've become really bad, these whiteboards. I don't know why they're so bad. Right, so which is the larger population? The Vatican's... I'm not put it on the screen yet. Apologies, everyone. Apologies. I'm not... Louis is usually here.
Yeah. Sad that we sacked him, but...
He's gone now. So percentage and answer, please. Percentage of teams you think got this correct, and answer. Good. It's an either or. Vatican City or Dundee, which has a larger population. We're also... Oh no, I'll do it after this. We'll talk about who we're drinking. Who we are drinking.
Whom we are drinking.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
It is really nice, especially from what I was drinking just before this. Which I'm fine to, like, what are they going to say? Take us to a liable court case? Seems to be all the rage at the moment. We could be in the news a lot if we went for a liable court case. Quick, Scott. Curse someone out.
I don't know.
Well, why don't we do a liable court case against each other?
All right.
Something slanderous you said about me. Because I've heard you say some slanderous things about me when the mics have been off.
Goose only listens to AM radio.
Rude. So.
Got him.
Got him.
All right, I'm
Okay,
ready.
we got answer percentage. People, answer percentage. Let's see them. Okay, we have got... Right, so Scott, do you want to say what you've got?
Dundee, 75%.
75%. Andy?
I've got Dundee 92%.
92%.
See, I think there's there's some people will go for it, like the wrong one, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like there's an overwhelming one that's maybe potentially obvious, but then people are like, maybe.
So you think it's obvious it's Dundee?
I don't know. I'm like either going to be really right or really wrong.
Yeah, your explanation there was fairly vague. For like hoping that it's Dundee. We both said Dundee, and I'll let you know the answer is right. It is Dundee. Well played.
I think it's just weird enough to be like, is there a reason it's Dundee?
Yeah.
Because it's
Dundee by a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. It's about 1,000 in Vatican City as residents. I think Dundee's at like I had it in my notes, but I think it was like, oh, actually, I'm not sure exactly how big Dundee is. It is a city, though. And you know what's becoming a city soon?
Dunfermline.
Dunfermline. Let's just see. Dundee population. Oh, 148,000, I suppose there is. 148,820. I can't believe they went down to that lower a number. Like granularity. It feels like to the nearest 100 would be about right.
When?
To the nearest 1,000 would be about
Is that
right.
the most recent census, or
2020.
Yeah, maybe.
2020 that was. This is a decrease of 0.3%. So people are leaving that city. Sorry for your loss. So let's go through the percentages. 75% said Scott. 92% said Andy. The actual percentage is 88.2%. So now you know, 88.2%. We have an audience average as well. Now, both pretty close. That is both fairly close, I'd say, to that. So this could be a tough one. The audience average from the audience that we took is 73.5%. So that means that 2 points go to Scott, 3 points to Andy, and 1 point to the audience. Not doing so well on that one there. I think people wrote, that must have been, some people must have written pretty low in the audience there. I'm looking at what we've got in the old the Twitch results that people have said in, and there's some lower ones than I was expecting there.
I did have to amend a result for the first one because someone messaged in saying accidentally put a single digit instead of a double digit.
Oh,
so
really?
I fixed that. Otherwise, I thought
on the Google form.
Yeah,
just double check.
I
don't know if that would have come through if it wasn't. Let's double check that's been right.
Yeah,
It should be fine.
yeah,
There's no single digits in the first one. So
excellent.
fine.
Good.
Job.
I got you.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was tight, but yeah, good job, Andy.
Thank you. As a recovery after the first question.
That's often the way it
your eye
goes.
in.
You have to get yourself. That's the golf background, I'd say, coming through there. It's a good job.
First hole's done.
Yeah.
Under the back nine.
I've put the ball
Triple
into the water
bogeyed the
through.
first
Yeah.
one.
Is that good or bad?
Bad. Scott's got a golf story for you.
Right.
No, I'm not telling it again. If some, I'm not telling it again. I'll tell you after.
Andy knows golf really well. Surely this is like the best time to tell somebody, and he can verify whether it would happen or not.
Yeah.
Because it could very well happen.
It's fine. People have heard it before, but they need to hear it again because
Yeah.
Andy needs to hear the
I'll
story.
give you the short version.
Fine.
I was caddying when I was probably like 10 or something. I was caddying for my cousins who were really into golf.
Carrying is basically carrying the clubs, not like giving them advice about how to hit a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's
just
like what we do for our dogs, essentially.
I was just pretty much just spending time with them because they live in Sydney, right? So my cousin teed off. That's a good golf term. And then we were looking for his tee and we couldn't find it. And I was like looking around everywhere. And then he's like, oh, well, we'll just keep going. Put his hands in his pockets. And he's like, whoa, hang on a second. And pulled out of his pocket. His tee went up, landed in his pocket.
Really?
Really? Goose doesn't believe me.
So,
he thinks he's just playing older
The
cousin
age-
shenanigans.
Yeah, the age of his cousins were. What age were your cousins at that
Yeah,
point?
like 14 or so.
And
14,
you,
15,
and you
16.
were.
10.
Yeah, 100% he was lying.
No,
to him.
I don't want to believe it. It's a core memory.
100% that he just had another tea in his pocket and pulled it out. Like, oh, look at that. Scott
gonna-
was like, oh my God. Like,
I'm going to ask him. When I go home, I'll ask him and I'll record it.
please do.
I've been hit by a golf tee. So, like,
Why
someone
were
hit
they
their
so angry at
drive.
you?
At like pocket level or?
Oh, in the head.
Oh, wow.
So they hit their drive.
Why are we
the tee
kneeling down?
spun up in the air, and on their follow through on the way back, obviously your club comes like back over your head.
Yeah.
The club hit it on the way back, and I was standing
wow.
back to the right, hit it straight into my face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is quite. Like, that could be pretty hard.
Oh, so that's believable. You didn't just flick it over his shoulder. I
I just can't get over the fact that it's your cousin who's older than you, and then just went, "Oh, look at this, Scott," and you were like, "Oh my God!" I assumed you had a much thicker Australian accent when you were younger. Crikey, what is that?
No, I don't. I refuse to believe that it didn't happen.
I assume you grow out of like Australian phrases as you grow up, like, or does
Sometimes
it get worse?
Sometimes I dip back into them, especially when I get real tired.
I can't wait for you to come home from Australia. Scott's going back to Australia soon for like a month or so. And I'm just excited for you to come home and then be like, oh, Scott's got refreshed Australian terms.
Yeah.
He's updated his
If we
vocabulary.
do the podcast while I'm over there,
Please.
which we probably will.
Well, I thought your dad's going to be a guest.
Oh yeah. Can I please play my parents in the percentage?
Yeah.
Game? Yes. Excellent.
Yeah,
Good.
100%. They're our biggest fans.
We'll do a full family. Yeah. They're great. They're
biggest fans.
Whereabouts in Australia are you from?
Do you know where Sydney is? East
Roughly.
Coast.
Roughly.
So, like, if you imagine like Australia, then the East Coast, I'm like almost in the middle.
Cool.
Yeah. So like almost as easterly as you can get.
It's about a 5-hour drive north of Sydney.
Yeah.
So
But on
towards
Australia,
New Zealand,
that's like a
almost,
pixel.
Yeah.
I looked at
Just a short for.
when I drove that. I was
drive.
like 5-hour drive. You look at the whole of Australia. Honestly, you could barely see the line.
Yeah. When I had friends come over from Australia and we're going to go up to Inverness, and we like planned to go like sort of 2/3 of the way in one day and then a third, and then we made it there in a couple of hours and was like, oh crap. Now what are we going to do? Whole plan's blown out. But oh well.
So we had a new team name theme. So every night for the quizzes, some venues give out team name theme prizes.
Okay.
So if you team name prizes.
Yeah.
If you do it within a team name theme, and you tend to have to give people themes because you either just get a massive amount of
Bad
people
quiz
who-
puns.
bad quiz puns, which is like quiz in my face, or Agatha Quiz Tea,
Don't
or
laugh at
Quiz
those.
Team Aguilera,
Yeah.
or actually, you know what I love when you hear someone work quiz into a new one.
Yeah.
I remember
That's
hearing
fine.
Quiz Chin Bale for the first time, and I was like it.
Yeah.
Or Quiz Akabusi, I quite enjoyed. When people work a new one in, I'm like, good. It was funny.
Someone's Googled a list of quiz team names.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Yeah.
But the worst thing is they present it to you like,
Yeah.
it's the funniest thing you've ever heard. And you're like, you're aware this is my job. Like,
Yeah.
I do this every night. I look at these team names every day. And I've been doing this for 11 years. It's like, I've never not seen, like, and then the great thing is when you do see a new one, you're like, it is well played. But, like, often people will come up to you with, like, an Agatha Quiz Tea, like, have you ever seen this before? It's like, I have never not seen this before. There's not been a quiz I have run that I've not seen this.
Yeah. Or as soon as you say, like, come up with a team name, there's like, quiz on my face. And then the team like, that's
The one that you'll always get the biggest grin from an idiot team member is this. Sorry, no, they're not idiots. They just think they're being original and they're not. So, and that's fine. It's okay for people. But I'll let them know they're not. And so, in this podcast form, in the form of a podcast rant, is someone will always turn to the teammates and go, I've got one. They say, I wish this microphone was a cock.
I'm going to put that out of context and send it up on social media.
It's so annoying. And you read it out, you're just like, that's like...
Good one.
Yeah, I got one actually the other day that was, that's the best team name I've ever seen, was their team name. And I was like, that's a good one. I quite liked it.
Not bad.
It's good when you have to read it out of context. But we had a team name theme last night, presented by our very own Scott. Scott's very good at team name themes. Some people are very good at them. I'm not great. I'm not original enough for it. But the team name theme he went for was low-level curses you would give to people, which I think is great.
My example was like your cup of tea will always have just too much milk, just a little bit too much milk all the time.
But the other low-level curse there is just a little too little.
Yeah. I mean, but we had some good ones. Your crotch smells like dog biscuits. And then immediately after I read that, someone goes, dog biscuits don't smell that bad. So I think they missed the point of attracting
Every
dogs to
dog
that area.
just running
Yeah.
straight to you.
Penis for nipples. Your team names are always terrible. May your teammates always dismiss your team name ideas.
That is harsh. Unless you're saying, I wish this microphone was a cock.
Wet socks. American healthcare.
Wet socks, by the way, that is a low-level curse.
That's gross.
You know what's even worse?
Constant wet socks.
Worse one with socks is your socks never stay on your feet.
What if both? They have a hole in it.
What, wet socks?
That's too high of a curse. That's not low level
Do you not
anymore.
find you have some shoes though that you have when you have secret socks on, trainer socks?
I don't own a pair
Secret
of them.
socks. You don't own a pair of trainer socks. You play golf. Do you play in like long socks all the
Yeah.
time?
Don't you have to wear like bus driver socks playing golf?
Bus driver socks.
Yeah.
What's that?
Like ones that come up your shin.
Nah, I don't wear them.
I'm pretty sure at my golf club, if you wear those socks, they don't let you play golf.
What?
I know, it's crazy.
Rude.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, I wear secret socks all the time, but sometimes they slide off the back of my heel, and then it's like, this is the worst thing ever. It feels like you're dying inside.
May you always need to pee 2/3 of the way through the movie. Every show you watch has a laugh track. That's a bad one.
That is bad.
Mild hemorrhoids forever. Migrainitis, hairy elbows, distracted by coffee and cheese. You are a lawyer in your next life. May your whiskey always be Jack Daniels. I hope you win the lottery
brutal.
and lose your ticket. And my personal worst one.
That's not a low-level curse, by the way.
That can be a big
Winning the
one.
lottery and losing your ticket is not a low-level. That's like a full-on ruin your life curse.
And the worst one, IMO. Inner monologue sounds like Peppa Pig.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. People are.
Give me wet socks over that any day.
Yeah, I would take wet socks over in a monologue sounding like Peppa Pig. That's brutal. But yeah, no, like losing the lottery ticket that you could have won.
Yeah.
That's not a low. That's like, oh, you've just lost millions of pounds. That's like basically you've lost £1 million.
Yeah. Have you seen the Australian movie? This is very niche. The Australian movie, The Nugget.
Nah.
No. You'd probably like it, Goose, if you like the castle.
Oh, I love the castle.
It's got Eric Banner in it.
Okay, yeah.
And they find, spoiler, they find a gold nugget, the biggest gold nugget in Australia.
Yeah.
And then they have to like hide it from people, but they're like called like the unlucky bunch or something. So in one scene they lose a lottery ticket, but because they have access to earth moving equipment, they dig up the road to try and find it, but they don't find it. So. Next question, hey.
No, I like when someone explains a little bit of a film. It's good fun. It's tough to get on board with though. Also, just before we carry on, we have to say a big thank you to Minwake because we're drinking their beers today.
Yeah,
They're really good.
What he's got?
We're both in a lager at the moment, and
Give us
we've
a
got the
show.
rest in the freezer. There's such nice cans.
Tasting notes. You know, we love some tasting notes.
What do you think it says? Well, you've not tasted it yet.
No.
Oh, well, they're from New Zealand hops. Scottish barley and New Zealand hops. A blend of
what a
old
couple.
world and new traditional crisp lager with a slight citrus kick from mellow New Zealand hops descended from traditional noble varieties.
The design of the cans is just so weird, isn't
Oh,
it?
easy. Some of the nicest design of a can.
Nice. Some good
Designed
good
by-
blues there.
Greg Perry.
Yeah.
Don't know who that is.
Gregory.
And they've just opened a little really cool outside bit right outside the brewery down in Leith. So if you're ever down there, they had like, I don't know what kind of food they were going to do. It looked like they may have been doing burgers or something like that.
Oh, I think I saw him. Yeah, with like some street food.
Yeah, so I think they were saying they might do that like weekly, like different
nice.
street food van and stuff. So,
I like that a lot.
but yeah, the beer's really good.
Yeah, and we've got a couple others to try, so
Yeah,
we'll probably
IPAs and-
pull them out of the freezer after this because I'd say
They're probably
that's almost
frozen
been
now.
2 hours. Nah, 2 hours won't freeze them, will it?
Nah.
Scott's our resident.
Beer drinker.
That'll be
Liquid
good
technician,
temperature.
no.
You can leave them in there for the whole podcast.
No way.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not convinced about
They
that.
might get a little slushy.
I'm going to
if
put
that.
them in the
I'm
fridge
okay with
after
that.
this. I'm going to switch it around. After this next question, I'm going to do it.
All right.
Next question. Okay, question number 3. Question 3. In which English city is the annual Crufts Dog Show held every year? So in which city is the annual Crufts Dog Show held every year? City and percentage, please. Thanks very much. I feel like I should do this can switch now. Nah, I shouldn't.
Yeah, go for it.
We'll edit this bit out, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Have a think.
Crufts Dog Show.
Sorry.
Don't mind me.
Like you're on a wheelie chair. Are other people in the... Don't break the fourth wall here. Are people in the chat? What are you drinking? I had a Barocca earlier, which Louis gave me shit about once. Oh, you drink
What is
vitamin C.
Barocca again?
Oh, it's just, well, it's not Barocca. Just like an effervescent
Yeah, right, yeah.
vitamin C tablet.
Wine from the ball.
Nice. Love that. What sort of wine?
I'll go for the pale ale.
Pale ale.
Pally Alley.
And I'll go for the IPA.
Yes.
Oh, they are cold.
They're very cold. Is it gonna like explode when you open it?
No, I think it'll be fine.
But I did see Goose shake yours, so
How's everyone doing? Have you got your answer in percentage?
no. No, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it.
Okay. I'm trying to burp away from the mic.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Scott put together like a whole clip reel of me burping into the mic for our old podcast.
And I'm doing it again.
You know what? I've got a problem that I just don't know when it's going to make a sound or not. I just don't have a feeling for it.
It's okay.
Okay. You both got
Yeah.
percentages, answers? Okay, show me your percentages and answers. Okay, you both... Right, you carry on, you say. Scott.
Birmingham, 81%.
81%. And Andy?
Birmingham, 74%.
74%.
That was a guess from me.
Both said Birmingham. Both correct. It is Birmingham. I don't think I would have said that. I think I would have said Sheffield. But
Okay.
I don't really know what's in Sheffield.
I don't really know it's in Birmingham.
There's
The
a canal?
old FA Cup trophy factory. I think
How would you ever know that?
because I stayed in a hostel which was in the same building as it in 2013.
Fair. That is fair. Right, so here's your guesses. 81% for Scott, 74% for Andy. Let us go to the actual percentage, which is 51.4%, which is quite a bit lower than what you both said.
Quite a bit.
People don't know crufts very well, I don't think.
Well, I mean, we've got the numbers here.
Oh.
So.
But the audience average, let's see what they've gone for. Have they got closer than you guys or have they gone further away? And I will say they have gone much closer, 60.9%. So that means we have got 3 points to the audience, 2 points to Andy, and 1 point to Scott. Scott, this is looking like it might be in the bottom half of the bracket, which I'm not really upset by. But
I'll pick back up.
Scott's 2 points off me in the total leaderboard, just to let you all know. And I really don't want him to be in the top half of the bracket for this week.
That's why you told me the answers earlier. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Coaching him.
Cheeky.
It's like,
Cheeky.
there's gonna be a second. I'll be like, how could you not have got that?
Yeah, when I go and get a drink.
Yeah, yeah,
Well done. Well done.
yeah. So we've got an idea that we wanted to float with you. I just want to talk it through with you because I've spoken to you a little bit about it, Scott, but not
Is
to
this
any-
the August?
August. Yeah, what we're thinking about for August. So like, we're not doing a fringe show this year because, well, I thought that'd be obvious. We're really
Yeah,
busy.
we've got lots of fingers in lots of pies already. So
And we're just getting the event manager on board. Like it's been pretty busy.
Yeah.
And so we decided that it probably wasn't worth pushing towards it. But we do have like lots of people on board, lots of hosts. We should have a new event manager by that point. And also we've got like lots of questions. We've got a lot more technical ability these days. So we're thinking of doing a thing called Text a Quiz during the festival, which effectively, now if people don't know what the festival is who listen to the podcast or on Twitch listen to us right now, like the Edinburgh Festival is huge. It's like one of the biggest festivals, is the biggest festival in the world.
Yeah.
biggest arts festival in the world.
Yeah, biggest arts festival in the world, and we took part in the Fringe Festival, which is the sideline to the festival, which is actually bigger than I think the festival now in attendance wise. So there's big gardens that open up for beer gardens, and there's sort of picnic tables all over, and we know one of those crews quite well, the Assembly. And it's Connell again, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, Connell. Had a baby recently.
Well done.
Become a father, so he's got a wee baby now. But we are thinking about saying to them, can we do like text a quiz in their beer gardens and effectively put like number on the table or a QR code on the table that people can text and then, or book something online. We might not call it text a quiz. And then you can get a quiz host to your table to run quizzes for like £5 a round, something like that. What do you think?
I think, yeah, people will be in for it.
Would you do that, Andy?
Yeah, because sometimes sitting in a bar and just drinking gets boring, and people end up sitting on their phones and
Yeah.
stuff. So actually, like having something to do together, like it might just give you like a fun time. I like the idea of it.
I think what will happen, my impression of how I think it will go, is that we'll go to our table and start a little quiz, and then the table next to them will be like, we really want to do that next. And so then we'll instantly see like, oh, how did you get that? Say, oh, text a quiz. Cool, they'll do it. And then it'll, what I really hope it just happens is we just go down a series of tables and be like, oh, we walked 2 meters.
If you're going to do that, you'll need to make some sort of entrance, like when the police turn up, the sirens are on. So we need some sort of like, maybe like a trombone, like dun dun dun.
We'll hire a trombone.
Every host gets a trombone.
I would only take a trumpeter going ba 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 ba, and then like rock up like, all right, guys.
Yeah. I mean, people are up for anything during the Fringe.
I mean, your cheapest pint in the Fringe is like £6 now.
Yeah.
I reckon the base price for a pint, especially with inflation and everything, I reckon base price for a pint is going to be £6. So, and the fact that we used to think £5 for a pint was a lot back in the day, and now £5 is pretty much standard for a pint. Mm-hmm. Anything under £5 for a pint these days is like, oh, look at us, money bags. I'll buy 2 for the night. And but yeah, like if you think £6 is the price of a cheap pint, I'm tempted to say it's £10 a round and £20 for 3 rounds.
I mean, people put that much into like a, what do you call them, like a quiz machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you've got a live host.
They're paying to stand around in the group.
I'm tempted to either do it for £10 for a round or £10 for like 15 minutes of quizzing. I don't know, or 10 minutes of quizzing. £1 a minute.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah. And then we say like,
people like a bit of competition.
Absolutely. And so then I think we do whiteboard quizzing with people at their tables. So we hand out the whiteboards and the whiteboard pens, like we're doing here on the podcast. And then, like you do a little kind of inter-table competition. And the great thing is we get assembly on board really well. We could do something where if they've paid for a certain amount of money, they get like a drinks token or whatever for the winner of the table.
Yeah.
And so like if they buy a certain package or they spend over a certain amount of money, it's like, oh, and you also get like a drinks token for the winner. So whoever wins at the end of half hour or whatever it is gets a token.
Yeah.
Because I guess they're going to stay longer, drink more, and
I would say so.
Just have a blast.
I think it would be really fun at a table. I mean, personally, I would absolutely love this.
I know I definitely would do it with my mates.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, like, we want to do it at certain hours and have it like period, we say like, oh, say on like weeknights, because obviously we'll have other quizzes on than the weeknights. We'll say we'll do it from like 4 till 6 or something like that, or 3 till 6. And then we can all go off to our quizzes. Yeah. Whereas on the Fridays, Saturdays, and the Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, when people have less quizzes on, we could say we do it from like 6 till 9, or from 7 till 10, or 7 till 11, and say we'll come and do quizzes for everyone. Like have a bit of a riot with everyone. Yeah. The thing is, you can always go later. The plan to pay the host as well is to give them like 10% of everything that's being made. So it's like almost the more they're pushing it to go, the more money they're going to make, which I think would be great fun. We'll pay them their regular hours and then also the extra 10%, which I think would be good fun. I'm not looking to make like a ton of money on it. I think it's really fun to do it.
Well, it goes back. We were saying like you had a bit of an idea for a bar. Do you want to share this with everyone, or have you shared it with everyone? Well, it was like a blue versus red.
Oh yeah, I think I think someone's done something really similar, by the way. Right. But yes, please carry on.
Yeah, so like the idea of like turning up to a bar, and you get a color, and essentially you're in blue or red, and you're playing against the entire bar, and there's just loads of different games. Yeah, I love the idea of that, and I think, going to a bar is like good, but how many times do you do that? Sit down with your mates and just it's nice to do something.
Yeah. I like things where
we play cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like
it's anything that facilitates good conversation, I think, is the way that I want to always view what to do in a bar. And that's what we do with quizzes, is that we're sitting and saying our quizzes aren't meant there to be there to like everyone to look at us all the time. It's there to say, here's a great question. Why don't you really dissect this and think about it? And really think. And it's like kind of what we're doing with the podcast. So we get a chance to sort of sit and say, well, actually, it's a bit of time for you to sit and mull over the question and think about it. And for us, it's quite good because we get a chance to go over questions in a way that's like different to how we've looked at them before, potentially. Yeah, so
definitely.
No, I like the bar idea a lot. I really want someone to get that involved with that. Yeah. But I don't know where. I really want to do it in the old Aqua venue. I think that'd be a classic place to do it.
Should we just start a bar?
If you did it in the old Aqua venue, you could use the mezzanine as like a showpiece area. Like you could do things in a really kind of like open way. Oh, that would be so cool. And you have the big screen upstairs as well that you could put like what's going on downstairs on the screen. So then people could be sitting upstairs more casual. And then when you call people down, they come down the stairs. I've been to Actwell, I assume not.
No.
It's closed now. I'm tempted to see, but also I think the rent there would be astronomical.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm still keen. But, you know, text the quiz. Let me know your thoughts, people at home.
Yeah, I think it's...
Sorry.
We're on to question 4. All about the next question. Question 4. Trophies for the Berlin Film Festival are in the shape of what animal? So trophies for the Berlin Film Festival are in the shape of what animal? I basically based this all off Andy's Instagram, and I know he's in Berlin. I'm not a stalker. You've got an open Instagram that I follow, so you know.
Berlin's a pretty cool place.
Berlin is a great place. I really do like Berlin. So the trophies for the Berlin Film Festival are in the shape of what animal? Doesn't matter about your answer, but I do want an answer from you. And we want you to give me a percentage, please.
Berlin. See, I know it, and I think that's skewing my...
Hey, fair enough. People are writing their percentages on the old Twitch, who are watching it live, but I wouldn't look at it because it might skew you.
Skewy.
I'm interested to see what people write for this one. I wouldn't know what I would write. I don't know what I would say for this. I feel like I picked questions that don't think I would have got the percentages right for. Which I don't know what that says. Maybe I'm really clever. Maybe.
You are.
Right, are we both percentage and answered up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, show me your percentages and answers, please. Okay, we've got Scott, what have you said?
I said bear and 76.
76 and bear. Andy?
I went for 40% and a dog.
40% and a dog. Okay, I can let you know the answer is bear. It's a bear. The Berlin Film Festival has a bear. Now, let's see your percentages. 76 for Scott and 40% for Andy. The actual percentage was 89.8% of teams got that one correct. It's a big, it's a fairly well-known one, that.
I think that's definitely a
Not for me.
team's question.
It's a team's question. But I think people know that the bear represents Berlin quite a lot. But I wouldn't know. I don't know. Look, I don't know why that's the same.
I thought bear, but then I was like, I don't know what it could be. It doesn't matter now.
It doesn't matter now, apart from, you know, you've gone quite low, and there's a lot higher, and there's a good chance the audience will go in between you and the actual percentage. But you know, that's to be seen. Which
I'm
we'll
getting
see.
1 point here. Let's be honest.
Well, we'll see. We'll see just now. The audience average was 55.8%, which means Scott gets himself 3 points, 2 points to the audience, and 1 point to Andy.
Scott ahead on 1 point now or something.
I don't know the final scores at the moment. We're keeping them all quiet until the end.
Feeling good though.
That could
Definitely feeling
I don't know
good.
if he'd be top bracket yet again, but like from looking at the live answers we have on Twitch of the percentages people have written in, everyone went pretty low there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I think that's an obvious question, but I would have said that people know Berlin and bears are sort of
Intertwined.
I probably wouldn't have got that. I don't think that those two things clicked for me.
You've been to Berlin though, right?
Yeah,
I
it's an
think
amazing place.
Bears are like part of the kind of iconography of the city, are they not?
Not anything that I saw.
Am I wrong in thinking this?
You're thinking of like, is it Russia?
Yeah.
Russia and bears?
No, like
And people live with bears probably in a few places.
Google it.
yeah, the bear has remained the city's mascot.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
But we didn't really go to any like
Trust you.
cultural things.
yeah.
No bear places.
I went to Berlin in I think in February,
Yeah.
and I have never been more cold in my life.
Was it cold? Yeah.
It was at one point I had a shower and went outside, and my hair was still a little bit wet and froze. Like my hair properly froze, and like I had like a full jacket on, like I think I had 2 sets of trousers on effectively, and my hair instantly frozen as I walked outside. I've never been in a city before or taken off in a plane before where they like shower down the wings to get rid of the ice.
Oh wow!
It was kind of terrifying.
Yeah,
but yeah, it happened.
See, I went in July and it was like 35 degrees or something like that. And as a ginger,
Lovely.
that's worrying. 'Cause,
Are you a ginger?
yeah,
A very fair ginger.
yeah. Well, people always call me strawberry blonde, but then they call me strawberry blonde. But then if they wanted to offend me, they'd call me a ginger prick. Pretty much.
Sorry, I like that strawberry blonde is like like ginger prick is another hair color. I wouldn't have thought you to be. Although you're looking quite like you've caught the sun recently.
Yeah, I think that's the golf.
I mean, you're looking well. I think you've caught the sun. I love that phrase, "caught the sun." It's like, oh, you've seen you've caught.
Been kissed.
I was out celebrating with
By the sun.
Alice last night because she got a promotion at work.
Congratulations.
Yes, we had to say congratulations to her, and we were sitting in the sun having some dinner, and then like as we got home, and like, don't get me wrong, we both got a bit tipsy, and as we got home, she just started like pulling my leg that I got really badly sunburned, and I'm like, I'm not sunburned, am I? And like kept on looking in the mirror, and then because I was a little bit tipsy, I just couldn't like rationalize if I'd been sunburned or not. And it didn't look like I'd been badly sunburned, so my irrational mind decided to go for coat myself in after sun before bed. Which, as we all know, after sun and bed don't mix because you're so sticky, and it's like, everything's sticking to me. The sheets, and I'm just like not very comfortable. So an hour before I fell asleep last night because I was just like, oh, everything's rank now. And like,
Got a permanent third skin.
yeah, but I don't think I've been. I think I've just.
You've got it on your arm there. That's tan.
Yeah, I think I've got quite a nice tan at the moment. So,
But people love telling people that they've like
you're looking like you caught the sun.
like yeah, but like as like a oh look at you, you idiot, you got burnt.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yes.
that people get like defensive about it, which is like both of those things are unwarranted because it's like oh yeah, okay, that's how the sun and skin work.
I just go chestnut. That's what I say.
Chestnut.
Yeah, I go. My tan is more chestnut, which basically is burnt. I have a chestnut tan, burnt.
Fair. I thought of something during the week, which is definitely not an original idea, but it's something that I wanted to float on the
Plagiarism
podcast.
alert.
So there's a car that parks around my place, which is a Red Bull car, and it's like one of the minis with the big can on it.
Yeah.
Big can in the back of it. Yeah.
And I know that it's for promotional purposes, but do you think that you could organize? I think Goose probably knows where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could organize for, like, say you live in a flat or a house and you get in touch with the company and then they can put up whatever signs they want on your house, same with the car, and then they pay partial rent?
So
There's definitely laws.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would say there's definitely laws against it. From going through like title deeds and things like that, and purchase sale agreements for the house.
Yeah.
The insanity, the level that goes to,
Really?
is crazy.
But even if you're the owner,
There's
Why?
like we can't change our windows in our house because they're protected.
Really?
why?
Yeah, because you know the factory side of our
Yeah.
house, like you've been in our house,
Yeah.
and so it's a converted factory on one side, and we can't change the windows without permission, and like the style of the window has to be the same.
Yeah.
If we do change it,
Is that
our
like a
windows
home
are falling apart.
homeowners association sort of thing,
No,
or
it's
is it like
it's a council thing? So it's a listed building, where the front of it is a listed building. It's nonsense.
But if it wasn't,
It'd be fine. But there's also things about, I imagine, areas that you're in, advertising, and it'll also just be, I imagine, it's also things like mixing business and like leisure or like private. But outside of that,
but contract, you can have a
nothing is
contract,
stopping you from doing it.
right? Do you think it'd
Outside
be worth? Do you think
Outside
it'd
of shitty red tape.
Do you think it'd be worth it though?
People
I mean, it depends
doing
on the
it.
business, yeah. Because people like there used to be a thing a couple of years ago, like human billboards, where people would wear like temporary tattoos and stuff to like sporting games and that.
Well, I mean, I remember seeing one where there was a huge issue, or it was an MMA, it was my UFC, I can't remember. One of the big MMA fights, somebody had on his back like a huge temporary tattoo advertising a different casino from the one that was being fought in.
Ooh, okay,
And that
conflict of interest
was a
there.
huge issue. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Is it Peru that banned all advertising. Was it Lima that banned all billboard advertising? Somebody banned all billboard advertising in their city, and I think it might be Lima.
Accounting businesses never used to be able to advertise their services.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Because they had to have the best interest of... Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What city banned all outdoor?
And my other question would be, would you do it? If, like... I mean, you'd have to have a good reason if you lived on like a busy street or whatever. Obviously, they're going to take like traffic and foot traffic into account.
Yeah, I always struggle to think what I would put on the banner. Like, I was thinking about that because we were at like a football match and we'd been asked to take one of the boards, and I was like, what would I actually like put on this? And I was like, would I just put my logo? And then I was like, I don't know what I'd put on it.
Was this? Are you still involved with Dundee?
Yeah, football club.
Dundee Football Club, not Dundee United.
No, not Dundee United.
This is so
no,
weird.
never
that you
Dundee
have
United.
Two teams in the city. One's called Dundee, and one's called Dundee United.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
yeah.
Manchester, looking at you.
They're called Man City and Man United.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it just Dundee?
Yeah, one's
Dundee.
called
Oh, right,
Dundee and
okay.
one's called Dundee,
Not like
Dundee United.
FC or anything?
No, it's just I find it really funny that it's like what someone's
The
just
whole
gone,
of Dundee.
yeah.
We're all lacing up this time.
It's Sao Paulo that did that banned all advertising.
Interesting.
I remember watching videos on it and I found it absolutely fascinating. So all their they just don't have billboards in their city because they were just becoming overrun with them, and billboards are everywhere. And then when you take them all away, people have to go a lot more creative with advertising and to think about how they're going to do it, which I think is actually important because big dogs can pay for big billboards and everything, and it just makes the bigger people bigger. When actually, what you really want to do is make them more creative and interesting, and then actually have to pay to make it more interesting, as opposed to more real estate space. More like advertising space.
Just because you got the money.
Yeah, and I like
that.
what you come up with, what you said there, domestic advertising. As in at home, you can do something like that. I would prefer it to be something more interesting. So say like someone could put a projector on your roof,
Yeah.
and as they went past, something gets projected onto the ground.
Yeah.
I'd be like, go for
So
it.
that's like, I don't mean like, not necessarily just any sort of advertising.
Yeah.
Like if you want to, I don't know, stick something in the windows, if you want like a screen that, for mum and pop's kebab shop down the roads,
Well, we do it for like when we're selling a property. We put a massive thing on the window that says "This flat is for sale."
Exactly.
Is that an advertisement? Like, why can't then we put up signs for businesses and pay for our rent that way?
Well, people do it for political things as well. Like,
Yeah.
vote signs in the
Political
window.
Yeah.
Yes signs everywhere.
But no one comes up and is like, oh, can I pay you to put this in your window?
No.
But then
Because some people live in great places.
that are really close to where you could do these things.
Like there's a kebab shop just around the corner from me. You can put a sign up and be like, this way.
The Queen could put something up on Buckingham Palace. That would get a lot of
Actually make
attention.
load of money. Yeah, that would get loads of. But what though? That's the big question.
Moonwake beer.
I use dog food called Royal Canine. So,
Same.
Yeah, it's really expensive supposedly.
Yeah, but my dog's like 5 kilograms, and your dog's what, 35 kilograms?
22. It's a puppy. We still use the puppy food, and it's 22. He's you know how we have to weigh him as well. This is one of the funniest things. We have to weigh him by like weighing yourself, then picking him up, and then going on the scales again and seeing how heavy it is.
Doing some math.
And he was 22 kilograms last time we weighed him. Almost 23, I think. He is going to be
Big
I think he might be quite a big dog.
big boy.
And that's when dog food gets really expensive, because like my dog will have like 35 grams of Royal Canin per meal.
What? My dog has like a bag. And also, he wouldn't stop eating if he didn't have to. I don't know how Alice has got on today, but we changed his feeding schedule today, which I assume he has just kicked up a fucking massive fuss about.
So yeah, so have you been feeding your dog breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yeah.
And now you're going to just breakfast and dinner.
Two a day.
Yeah.
And so I fed him extra this morning, which you seem to be like, still. You're like, Bernie treats us like we don't feed him.
To balance out the excitement of Alice's promotion.
He treats us like we're starving him.
Yeah, it's like third world poverty.
Yeah. We're like, no, you're being fed. We're feeding you all the time. Like this is like we're definitely feeding you. And he's just like, every time there's food or anything around, it's like as if we've never fed him before.
Poor starving baby.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
But yeah, it's who's going to Tuesday. But you've got, what dog do you have?
I've got a dachshund. I have to be
How
careful
do you
because
say
I say to people I've
dachshund?
got a wee sausage dog, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
I would sort of call him a sausage dog.
People don't understand when you say sausage dog.
Well, they
You know-
think I'm talking about my. So I say
Might
it's
be the delivery then.
yeah, it must be, yeah.
Don't have to wink after you say it.
Why are you unzipping when you're saying it?
So I call him a mini dachshund. He's called Louis.
Louis.
He's an alert boy. Like he knows what's happening at all times. He does like to bark at people.
They've got, like, they've got little alert faces. They're
Yeah,
like,
he's
quite like, oh, like the whole time.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Labradors have very much, like, so Bernie, he has a very kind of like, I'm looking for something kind of face the
Yeah.
whole time. He's like, they grow with puppy eyes.
Yeah.
They the whole time they're just always like, you know what you could do? Feed me some more.
Yeah.
Like, you know this food that you're not giving me? I should have that. But Dachshunds look, they look like alert little dogs, like meerkats.
Yeah. So he's quite like. He's really caring and loving when you get to know him. But like, if people come up to him in the street and they're like, "Can I say hello to your dog?" and I'm like, "You can, but he'll bark at you." Because they try to go like that over his head. and
You
he's-
can, but he'll hate you.
Yeah, he will bark at you.
Okay, let's go to the final question. Okay, question 5, final question. It's all to play for. I don't know what the scores will be like here. I do not know how everyone's getting on, so this is the time to play for it. Question 5, true or false? True or false? Roald Dahl wrote the script for the 1968 film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So that's not how I'd say it usually. Question 5, true or false? Roald Dahl wrote the script for the 1968 film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. We love you. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang loves you too. Hey ho, something something something, something something to bang bang.
We're gonna get
chitty,
red
bang,
carded.
bang. Oh yeah. Do you get like red card for just like this?
I don't know, probably.
Oh, I hope not. Yeah, it'd be sad if that was literally what you got red carded for.
Oh, this is a tough percentage. But I'd drive a stupid looking car if someone paid for it, I think.
You would drive a stupid looking car.
Yeah.
So you could do like a Goose's Quizzes one. Like you could have a goose, like because they've got like the actual Red Bull can. Like,
I wanted to
we
get.
could buy a mini and then we could like put a goose on top.
I
of it.
wanted to get a Goose mark. You know, like their logo
On a spring.
We talked about it so many times. You brake too hard, it breaks the windscreen.
Oh,
Yeah, it honks every time it moves. I want to have like air inside it, so when it goes through the air in a certain direction, it's like, yeah,
So when the Goose's Quizzes team are turning up to text the quiz, what are they turning up in? It should be a little mini with a Goose's.
No, I think green outfits.
Yeah.
Segways. Green segways.
E-scooters, they're popular now.
Honestly, if only we could afford anything right now. Like, we're right up for it. Ideas come with costs, you know. So whoever wants to sponsor is doing this, just let us know. Moonwake. Probably can't be an alcohol sponsor because they'll have their own. Right, answer, percentages. Let's go.
okay.
Everyone got their answer percentage? Let's see your boards now. Okay, we've got Andy. Do you want to go first?
I'm false 73%.
False at 73%.
Like it's not like the one with the that I can say.
It's not like that.
No, it's like this. There's a higher like chance that it could be true or false.
And
I
you
don't know
said
the
false.
answer.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Okay, cool.
I said false.
I think I've got you. And then, wait, did you?
Yep, I wrote false, but I missed the L because I was doing fancy letters.
And what number did you say?
73 as well.
73 as well. Both said 73. Well, let us.
Potentially redundant question.
You both said false, and the answer is true. So.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Roald Dahl was
Did he?
wrote the script for the 1968
Didn't-
film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Do you think that's wrong?
Yeah.
How do you think it's wrong?
I thought it was Ian Fleming.
Yes, it does say Ian Fleming here.
But did he write the script for the film? Or did he just write the story?
Oh, Screenplay by Roald Dahl.
Damn it!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Potentially the questions worded in a slightly.
No.
The script. It says the script.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, the question's 100% true.
Script. Who wrote
There you go.
the script?
Yep. Okay.
Roald Dahl. There you go.
Good knowledge, but
Ken Hughes as well, but Roald Dahl's the big one. Now you
thanks, Ken.
know. Brutal. But you both say the same percentage, so you're thinking along the same lines, both 73%. But the actual percentage is 62.7.
Ooh.
So you're both the same away, as you might have guessed at this point.
That's pretty good.
But did the audience go higher or lower than you on that one? Than you both?
I think they're close.
You think they're closer?
Yeah.
Scott, are you confident? This could actually be what it's all about.
I know.
This is what it comes down to.
I think there's a big gap there. 11's a big gap.
Yeah. You've left the door open.
We have.
You both left the door open.
Yeah. And the light on. We'll see.
The audience average is 70.9%.
Oh.
Which means they've snaked you by just over 2%, 2.1%.
Just enough.
Oh,
Wedge their foot in there. Well
They've done enough. They have done enough there, which means the numbers were 1 point, 1 point, and 3 points
That's
there.
rough.
I know it's a harsh way of scoring.
It's fine.
But the highest points you could have got 1 points there. We're not giving you extra points for drawing. Which brings us on to the final scores. Okay, it is tight. It is actually really tight.
I thought it was going to be tight. Like, I was thinking about it, and I was like...
But that last question, I think, has made all the difference.
Yeah, it has. Definitely.
It really has. So,
I thought I was having a round, but
let's go through the scores. In third place with 8 points there. Anyone feeling really confident?
I'm feeling like I'm going to be third.
I'm confident for...
I think it's between Scott and the audience.
Okay.
I think so. It's probably going to be quite close. I think the
love
audience.
that. Yeah.
I think
The
the
first
audience
time.
might have.
Yeah, look, exactly. It's your first time. You don't know how it goes. Third place, 8 points. Andy, well played. Good job. Very good guess today.
Well done.
Thank you.
8 points is good.
Very amicable.
8 points is good.
Loving the time here. Then, in second place with 10 points is Scott. So very well played, 10 points. Good job. That means winning with 11 points.
Oh.
Is the audience. Audience and 11 points. Well played again, audience. Doing very well.
Well done.
Proving that theory, the audience
Yeah.
is smashing it, snaking away.
But more importantly, what happens between you and Scott? Like, how has this affected the rivalry?
Well, we'll see at the post show. So if you actually want to find out a bit more about how you're doing individually in the podcast, you can. We'll do it in the post show afterwards, but we'll also be posting it on our website. So
Scores breakdown.
Yeah, scores breakdown. It'll be right there. You can go to the Twitch, to the podcast's webpage, and you'll find the scores there, the overall scores.
Yep. Search for Goose Quizzes will come up.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll go through it a little bit after on Twitch, so we'll do the dissection. The really
Nice.
exciting stats bit after this, which I get
Numbers.
the most excited by.
Yeah.
But this is the end of the podcast. Andy, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a really nice time. Been real fun.
This is our Fridays. This is what we
Yeah.
go for.
No, it's really cool. I'm jealous that you get to do this every Friday.
Yeah, like we just decided to design our jobs around things that we like doing, and this is one of them.
Yeah. I'll be
Yeah.
in the chat next Friday.
Do honestly come and do it, because you can always just play the. I'll make sure your percentages from this week get into your percentages for the rest of the
Thanks,
time.
Goose.
So you'll always be there.
But yeah, no, thanks so much for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Real pleasure, and thank you very much for all your accountancy work. Do check out Ashton McGill. They're definitely worth having a check out, because you're running a small business or a big business or a business or a venture. They're always worth having a chat with. They've got loads of great resources online to help you with your accountancy woes.
Thanks, Goose.
So do check them out, Ashton McGill. So that is us at the end of the quiz. That's enough for this episode of GQHQ PQ. Thanks for listening. If you're listening And thanks for watching if you're watching. You can find this podcast in multiple formats. Live stream Friday afternoons on Twitch, released as an unedited video on YouTube, and as an audio-only podcast on all good podcast platforms. To find us there and on social media, just search for Goose's Quizzes and follow along to get notified when new things come up. Thank you to everyone who took part in the percentage game. If you're not yet involved and want to, you can find the link to the game on our social media. It usually gets released on the Thursday before the Friday recording. Get in touch with us on social media or through the website goosesquizzes.com. On there you can find where we do our weekly pub quizzes and also our GQ Ton project. If Scott wants to say goodbye, he can do that now.
Bye-bye.
And the same goes for Andy.
See ya.
Thanks for coming in and being a stellar guest and competitor. My name is Goose. This is GQ HQPQ. Thanks for tuning in. Love you. Bye.